Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today in this video we are going to learn about the brain of a computer, that is CPU. CPU is known as the brain of a computer because it controls all the other devices, all the parts, different parts of computer to make any task easy and finish it in a minimum time. So, as you have already seen, the topic of this video is what's inside me. So, in this video, we will talk about the CPU. What are the parts which contained by the CPU? So, for better understanding, let's move to the PPT. What's inside me? In this video, we will see about what's inside CPU. You all know the full form of CPU is Central Processing Unit, and it is also known as the brain of a computer. Now first, let's see what is a computer system. A computer is an electronic device that operates by following a set of instructions. It performs calculations and processes information with great speed and accuracy. Computer system consists different devices such as printer, speakers, monitor, keyboard, mouse, speakers and CPU. These all are the devices which creates a computer system. Now next we will see what is inside the CPU cabinet. A computer cabinet or a CPU cabinet is the case that contains various components of the desktop computer. The computer cabinet are available in variety of shapes and sizes. They are usually made of material like steel, plastic, aluminium, among others. The size of computer cabinet also vary depending on the type and power of the computer. Computer cabinets are also CPU cabinets as they are the house of the CPU. Next is about the power supply. You know that the computer is an electronic machine. It works on electricity. The power supply unit in the computer or in the CPU cabinet passes electric current through the computer. You can see the power supply metal box in the corner of the cabinet. The power cord and the cooling fan are also visible in the cabinet or in the box. You can turn on the power by first is switching on the main power supply switch on the wall and then pressing the little push button in the front of the CPU cabinet. Now next is motherboard. The motherboard gets its name because it is like a mother to all of the other parts of the computer. The motherboard is the largest circuit board and has many smaller circuits plugged into it. In fact, it contains the microprocessor of the computer. While microprocessor is the hardware, it executes a set of instructions known as a software. Microprocessor house the central processing unit where all processing takes place. Motherboard also supplies power to the various parts of the computer and helps them to communicate. The motherboard contains expansion card. It spells EXPANSION. Expansion card. Each of these cards has a special purpose. For example, the sound and the video card contain special circuits for operating the computer's sound and video. The modem expansion card allows computer to communicate with each other. A modem contains the computer to a phone. A modem connects the computer to a phone or cable line so that information can be exchanged between computers. One of the most important component of the motherboard is the BIOS chip. It spells BIOS, BIOS chip. BIOS is the acronym of Basic Input-Output System. The BIOS chip runs a self-test every time you turn on the computer. It makes sure that all the other chips, hard drives, ports and computer function together in the PC. In other words, it reminds the computer about its parts and their functions. It also makes sure that all the parts are functioning properly. Next, we will talk about ports. Ports are the slots that are visible at the back side of the computer cabinet or the CPU cabinet. These ports are also used to plug in the hardware. They are connected to expansion cards inside the cabinet. These expansion cards are plugged into the motherboard, are connected to the other components of cables. It is connected with the help of cables. The entire input and output devices plugged into ports. There are also extra ports to plug in extra hardware like joysticks, scanners, digital cameras, among others. You can see on the screen, these are the different types of ports used to connect hardware or peripheral devices. Next is RAM and ROM. You had learned about RAM and ROM in your previous class and already know that the contents of the ROM are pre-recorded and cannot be changed easily. That is why it is called a permanent memory. Only the CPU of the computer has an access to ROM. On the other hand, RAM is used by the CPU to read and write data and instruction while executing your program. The contents of the RAM keep changing continuously. Hence, it is not considered as a permanent memory. That is why it is so important to save your work on a computer. If the computer gets turned off, RAM will lose all the work. Both RAM and ROM chips are placed inside the CPU cabinet. Next part is hard drive or disk drive. You already know that a disk drive is a slot that helps us read information from the storage disk. The two most common disk drive are the hard drive and the optical disk drive. Whereas the hard drive is hidden inside the cabinet and holds the permanent hard disk. The optical disk drive is visible in the front of the cabinet from where you can load the CD and the DVD. All the information that you save on your computer are stored on the hard disk drive, that is HDD. A HDD consists of a nipple or many flat circular discs called platters. It is on these platters that data is recorded. These platters are usually made of aluminium alloy or glass and are coated with a thin layer of magnet material. Now let's have our summary. A computer cabinet consists of various components of the desktop computer, and it is available in a variety of shapes and sizes. The power supply unit in the computer cabinet passes through the electric current through the computer. The motherboard, it is a largest circuit board and has many smaller circuits plugged into it. Microprocessor house that a central unit or a central processing unit where all processing takes place. Modem. A modem connects to the computer to the phone or cable line so that information can be exchanged.